Hello and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to the daily current affairs analysis of the Shankar IAS Academy, and today's video is for the date of 17th of July 2025. So these are the topics for discussion. So the first article discusses about UIDAI. The next article discusses about recent ultimatum made by the US for Ukraine. The third discusses about the importance of languages and their constitutional provisions. The fourth article discusses about Tejas MK1A. The fifth article discusses about the importance of hockey and their basics. And these first five are from prelims perspective. The last two are from mains perspective. So the sixth article discusses about the importance of intaking unhealthy food, and the last article discusses about the importance of sulfur and exception of the FGDs. So in light of this article, let us see the discussions to be followed. Now looking into this article, the UIDAI urges parents of children between 5 and 7 to update their Aadhaar biometrics. So here on the basis of this news, let us see the basics about the UIDAI from prelims perspective. So UIDAI is unique identity and digital authentication platform for all residents. So here the main function is to provide and mandate Aadhaar enrollment, authentication of the citizens of our India, and life cycle management. So the institute comes under being a statutory body, and it is not a constitutional body under Aadhaar Act of 2016, and their nodal ministry comes under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, that is the MEITI. So looking into their significance, they are majorly used for transactions such as direct benefit transfers, for PAN Aadhaar linking, admissions related to the PAN Aadhaar linking, and also for the recognition of the residents through for their LPG subsidies. So their main vision is having a unique identity for the citizens and having digital authentication for the citizens in a unified platform for all the residents of India. Now looking into their composition, the UIDAI comprises a chairperson, two part-time members, and also chief executive officer, that is the CEO, who is also has the role of member secretary. So these are the details when it comes to UIDAI. So we have briefly made a video on what is Aadhaar. So we'll just brush up the concept. So here UIDAI is one of the most important function is to provide Aadhaar card. So it's a 12-digit unique identification number issued by the UIDAI, and looking in they take in information of the demographic data, name, date of birth, age, gender, address, mobile and email. And look, they have biometrics data, that is fingerprints, iris scans and photographs, and serves as a proof of identity and address valid for lifetime. So here we should all know that Aadhaar is not a compulsory certificate or legal certificate for in representing like passports or birth certificates. So these are just identity certificates in India, and it is not valid in other countries. Now looking into Digital India program, here it was launched in 2015 to create a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. So here under the Digital India program, bringing in Aadhaar was an important infrastructural development, digital infrastructural development. So here it includes Aadhaar CSCs, that is common service centers, like a platform to provide all governmental services at one point, and other broadband highways. So here the key pillars also include governance and services on demand, for example e-governance, paperless services, and to bring in digital empowerment. So it includes digital literacy, local language resources and local language upliftment. So flagship initiatives can include Umang app, Beam UPI, so it is one of indigenously created UPI platform, then My Government website, e-hospital, e-scholarship portals, then DigiLocker, a portal to keep all of your certificates or all of your documents safe, and other enabled services. So UIDAI is one of the most important digital infrastructure would be Aadhaar, and it comes under Digital India program. So I hope the article is clear. We have seen the basics about this topic. Now let's move on to a prelims practice question. Which of the following flagship initiatives are under Digital India? And here this is an easy one. We all know option C, all of the above are the right answer. Now moving on to the next news, can you hit Moscow? Trump asks about deep strikes in Russia, promises weapons. So why it is in the news? Here the President Trump has issued a stern ultimatum to President Putin, 50 days for Russia to end the war in Ukraine or face 100% secondary tariffs on countries trading with Moscow. So here secondary tariffs is slightly opposite to primary tariffs, where primary tariffs basically deal with direct taxes. So here secondary tariffs deal with indirect taxes, which has indirectly has impacts on exports as well as imports. So for example, anti-dumping duties, for example technical regulations, and these are the secondary tariffs which has an indirect impact on both the imports as well as exports. So these are the secondary tariffs. So what are the key highlights of Trump's new stance on Russia-Ukraine war? So there is a policy shift from advocating US withdrawal to backing military and economic escalation against Russia. So here there is US withdrawal to backing the military, as well as there has been economic escalation against Russia on through the tariffs present, through the secondary tariffs present. So that is this 50-day ultimatum. So here Russia has 50 days to end the war or face 100% tariffs, including on third party nations which are trading with Russia. So here we can see the repercussions related to economic escalations against Russia. The other key highlights is military aid through NATO. So here it has announced that there is supply of Patriot missiles that we will be seeing later, air defense and long range artillery to Ukraine. So here it costs to be borne by the European NATO members and not by the US, and there is push for deep strike. So here you can see the policy shift from advocating the US withdrawal to backing the military for the war. And next is push for deep strikes. So privately encouraged strikes inside Russia, that is Moscow, and Petersburg, is been encouraged, and also here Trump later distanced himself from formally endorsing such action. So what is the Patriot missile system? So the full form is Phased Array Tracking Radar to Intercept on Target, that is the Patriot. So it is developed by the USA, and this is the Raytheon Technologies, and the type is surface to air missile system, and their role is majorly for the functioning of air and missile defense system. So this is the Patriot missile system. So here the military aid through NATO has been announced for the supply of these Patriot missiles to Ukraine. And let's have a basics about the NATO. So NATO is an intergovernmental military alliance formed for the collective defense of its members. So check into their members, established by the North Atlantic Treaty, which is also known as Washington Treaty, on April 4th of 1949. So here their headquarters is Brussels, Belgium, and it started with 12 founding members in 1949, and as of 2024 NATO has 32 countries as their members. So these are the recent additions. Finland and Sweden are the recent additions in the NATO in the year of 2003 to 2004. So these are the basics when it comes to the NATO. So through this article, these are the important takeaways that we need to look into for prelims understanding. Now let us see a prelims practice question. Which of the following statements are correct? NATO is a military alliance under the United Nations. India is a member of NATO Partnership for Peace program. So which of the statements are right? Here Finland and Sweden are the newest members of NATO. So here only third statement is right. So moving on to the next article, why it is in the news. The Andhra Pradesh CM Naidu defends Hindi in school, says PV Narasimha Rao, a scholar in 17 languages, is an example. So he was a true person who have reshaped the destiny of our great nation, and we are employing the fruits of reforms he initiated, which is asserted by the Chief Minister. So here through this article, let us see the importance of languages present constitutionally and legally. So looking into the language provisions in the Constitution, according to Article 343, it talks about the official language of the Union. So Hindi in Devanagari script is the official language. English to continue for official purposes for 15 years till 1965, and the Official Languages Act 1963, it allowed continued use of English indefinitely. So here today both Hindi and English are used at the central level for more language recognitions. So these are the constitutional provisions other than Article 343 for languages. So under Article 345, it speaks about the language of states. So here the states can adopt any languages in use or Hindi as their official language. So until then, English continues for official purposes. Under Article 346, it talks about communication between states and center. So here English to be used unless states agree to use Hindi. Next, looking into the Article 348 under constitutional provisions for language, the language of judiciary and laws. So here English is used for Supreme Court, High Court and Parliament laws, as well as the hearings. The states can use Hindi or their regional languages in high courts with the president's approval. Now looking into Article 350A, looking into education in mother tongue. So here the states must provide primary education in mother tongue to linguistic minorities especially. And looking into other constitutional provisions under Article 350B, on special offer for linguistic minorities, officer for linguistic minorities, it is appointed by the President of India, and here they bring in reports on safeguards for the linguistic minorities present in our country, India. And the Article 351 brings in the promotion of Hindi. So the union to promote Hindi to serve as a link language and reflect India's composite culture. So these are the constitutional provisions present for language in our country, India. Now looking into the 8th schedule. So here the schedule was initially 14 languages included in the 8th schedule, but now there are 22 languages. So 8th schedule is for the languages, and here the extra additions are Sindhi language in 1967 under 21st Amendment. Then these are the other extra additions: Konkani language, Manipuri, Nepali language in the year 1991 through the 71st Amendment, and next is Bodo, Dogri, Maithili and Santali language in the year of 2003 from the 92nd Amendment. So there is no fixed criteria for inclusion. So here in our early videos we have made a means analysis on how having no fixed criteria for inclusion can also be a hinder sometimes. So you can check those videos also. So these are the classical languages of India. So these are the 6 classical languages: Tamil, Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam and Odia, and all are in the 8th schedule presence. Now I hope the article is clear. We have seen the basics about the constitution and legal provisions when it comes to languages in India, and about the 8th schedule, and also languages present in the 8th schedule, and also classical languages present in the 8th schedule. So now let's look into prelims practice question. Which of the following is not a classical language of India? So here the answer is option C, Marathi. Now look into this article. The second GE F404 engine for Tejas MK1 1A has been delivered to HAL. So here 12 LCA Tejas MK jets are expected to be rolled out by December 2025. So here through this article we need to know the importance of the jets and fighter jets. Let us see a prelims perspective on the basics about these fighter jets and the institutions mentioned. So here the article would be a bit technical, but just get to know about the fighter jets and their importance. So here first let us look about the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So here it was founded in 1940 as Hindustan Aircraft Limited, headquartered in Bengaluru. So it is a Maharatna PSU, that is a top tier central public sector enterprises, where it has been highly provided with grants and financial support, and also it has a lot of benefits on being an autonomous institute. So here being a Maharatna PSU, it comes under the Ministry of Defence. It is mainly engaged in aircraft designs to bring in developmental infrastructure, manufacturing of the aircrafts especially, and maintenance of the same aircrafts. So it is state-owned aerospace and defence company. So here one of the key manufacturer for Indian military aircraft and helicopters is by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So it is one of the most important manufacturer for Indian military aircraft and helicopters. So under this institute only, the second GE F404 engine for Tejas MK has been delivered to HAL. So now let us see what is GE F404 engine. It is supplied by GE Aerospace of the USA. It includes afterburning turbofan engine used in several fighter aircraft globally. So here afterburning turbofan is nothing but to have an automation or a thrust of fire for its ignition or its takeoff. Now it is known for high thrust to weight, as I told, thrust to weight ratio, reliability and modular design. So this is the basics about the GE F404 engine. Next is about LCA light combat aircraft Tejas. So it is India's first indigenous fighter jet developed by HAL and Aeronautical Developmental Agency, and this also comes under the Ministry of Defence. So it is a 4.5 generation multi-role light fighter. So here multi-role in the sense it has capabilities of air to air and also air to ground, and it replaces the aging MiG-21 fleet. It enhances indigenization and boosts Atmanirbhar Bharat. So these are the basics about the LCA light combat aircraft Tejas. Now, what are the variants of this LCA Tejas? Is Tejas Mk1 basic version, Tejas Mk1A upgraded with enhanced avionics, radar and EW capabilities. So this has been in the news. Next is Tejas Mk2 plant, where it has medium weight combat aircraft, and next is twin seater trainer version. So these are the variants of LCA Tejas. Now let us see the basics about the jet mentioned in the news, that is Tejas Mk1A. It is an advanced version of original LCA Tejas Mk1. So what are the key upgrades present in this jet? First is AESA radar, that is active electronically scanned array, that basically it enhances the target tracking through its radar and jamming resistance and engagement, and brings in high precision radar usage for more smooth working of the jet. Next is it brings in advanced electronic warfare suit with jammer. So here for it helps, so the jammer basically helps to find the threats detection, and the survivability of the jet would be higher because of the threat detection. Next is it has beyond visual range, that is the BVR missiles. So here integration by Dubai and indigenous Astra missiles. So we'll be seeing the basics about the Astra missiles. So all of these missiles come under the Ministry of Defence. So the beyond visual range, it basically has gives you an enhanced vision according to its name. So it has an enhanced vision beyond its range and radar, and it helps for easy detection. And next is mid-air refueling. So it doesn't stop midway, reduced radar signatures and improved avionics. So avionics help for a smooth aviation of the jet, especially in the air to air basis. So what is the Astra missile? So it is developed by the DRDO. It is India's first indigenous BVR air-to-air missile. So here you can see how the beyond BVR missile is engaged with the Tejas Mk1 for its more importance of air-to-air missile and avionics improvement. So here the range is up to 110 km depending on the version. So I hope the article is clear. We have seen a lot of basics about the aircrafts present. So it is have a basic understanding about the aircrafts and their functionalities, and there is no need to get into too technical details. Now this is a prelims question, and put your answers in the comment section. Consider the following statements regarding India's LCA Tejas Mk1A program. So it is a variant powered by indigenous Kaveri engine developed by DRDO. The aircraft features an active electronically scanned array, radar and beyond visual range missile capabilities. So which of the answers are correct? Put it in the comment section. Now moving on to the next news here. The 96th MCC Madras Cricket Club, which was established in 1846, have conducted the Murugappa All India Hockey Gold Cup, which is underway in India. So it is India's oldest hockey tournament, was started in 1901, and Malaysia is participating for the first time in this hockey tournament. So why it is important? Because here this venue and many other sports were first played in Chennai city. So hockey was one among them. And looking into the new features included in the news, so the third umpire technology has been introduced. 10 trees would be planted if there is a reaching of the goal through the game, and the finals would be conducted on July 19 to 20 of 2025. So let us see the basics about the hockey in India. So it was introduced by British in the late 1800s. Having the Olympic debut, it went in the year 1928 in Amsterdam, and India won gold. So looking into the golden era for hockey, it was through the years of 1928 to 1956. So 6 consecutive Olympic goals were attained by India. and that's how hockey is a very important sport for India. So it is popular especially in states such as Punjab, Odisha, Jharkhand and Tamil Nadu, and these are the legends who are known for hockey in India. Dayan Chand, Balbir Senior, Dhanraj Pillai, Rani Rampal and Srijesh. So here the governing body for the hockey is Hockey India under the FIH. So here the FIH is known as International Hockey Federation. So it is the major governing body for hockey around the globe. So the headquarters is placed in Switzerland, and they are especially known for their tournament such as the Hockey World Cup. So the governing body comes under the FIH under Hockey India. Now there has been a confusion on whether is hockey is India's national game, but no, it is not officially declared as national game of India. It is seen as a symbolic due to its historic Olympic success in the previous years, and hockey has a major importance in India. So, but it is not an officially declared national game. So, according to the RTI of 2020, no sport officially declared as a national game for our country, India. Now, looking into the current status, let us see few details about the hockey game. So looking into the men's team here, it is top 5 globally. It comes under top 5 globally, and the men's team won the Tokyo 2020 bronze. Now looking into women's team, it is top 10 globally, and they are also part of the Asian Games and they won silver, and in Tokyo they are part of the semi-finalist. So here the major sponsor is Odisha for the current status when it comes to hockey. So these are the details when it comes to the hockey game, and these are the leagues. So here for men it comes under Hockey India League Revival, and for women it comes under National Women's League being launched. So these are the two leagues for hockey game in India. Now these are the key awards given for the hockey tournaments of anyone to be won. So first is the Khel Ratna. Here these are the people who won the award, who are Rani Rampal and PR Srijesh. The Arjuna Award, who was won by Dhanraj Pillai, Sandeep Singh and Savita Punia. Then Dhyan Chand Lifetime Award, who were won by Ashok Kumar and Sylvanus Dangdang. And Padma Shri includes Balbir Singh Senior and Dhanraj Pillai. So these are the key awards when it comes to hockey. So I hope the article is clear. We have seen basics about the hockey game in India. Now this is the prelims practice question. Which of the following statements are correct regarding hockey in India? Hockey is the officially declared national game of India. No. India won 6 consecutive Olympic golds in hockey from the year of 1928 to 1956. Odisha is the official sponsor for the Indian national hockey teams. So which of the following statements are right? Only 2 and 3 are right. So here option B is the right answer. Now moving on to the next news title, More Than Symbolic on Curbing Unhealthy Food Intake. So here there need to be legislative measures to curb unhealthy food intake, which is a must. So here the Union Ministry has instructed all the government departments to display the oil, sugar and trans fat content in popular Indian snacks. And this initiative is to start as a pilot by the AIIMS Nagpur and extend to other cities. So it also follows the CBSE's earlier direction to schools to set up the sugar boards to inform students about their daily sugar intakes and limits and the health risks associated. So in light of this article, let us see a mains perspective. Now what is meant by healthy and unhealthy food? So healthy food is rich in nutrients including vitamin, minerals, fiber, protein and good fats. And unhealthy foods are high in saturated fats, trans fats, salt and added sugars with low nutritional value. So here they are mostly of HFSS, that is high fat, sugar and salt, that we will be seeing further in the PPT. Now what is the impact of the unhealthy food consumption? First is the health risk. So according to the National Family Health Survey data, men are prone more to 15% to almost 24% of obesity, and women are prone to 12% to 23% of obesity. So this data was collected for the year of 2005 to 2006 and for the 2019 to 21, especially in the year of COVID. And next health risk would be type 2 diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases. And the next impact would be economic burden. There is increased healthcare cost for the non-communicable diseases related to the health risks. Next is child health concerns. So there is early onset obesity and lifestyle diseases, poor academic performances due to poor nutrition. Now, these are the existing policy frameworks, and there needs to be an overlooking areas on these policies. First is National Multi-Sectoral Action Plan for Prevention and Control of the NCDs. Next is FSSAI Packaging and Labeling Regulations, in which was amended in 2020, and the CBSE's recent School Level Sugar Awareness Board. So, apart from this, there needs to be even more policy frameworks to be introduced and more overlooking of areas. Now, what are the gaps present? First, there is no implementation of the front of pack labeling rather than behind effectively. Next is the HFSS, that is high fat, high rate of salt, fat and sugar definition pending. So here the FSSAI has not finalized nutrient thresholds. Now there is no tax called, for example, sin taxes, which is imposed in UK and Mexico for the HFSS foods. So having these tax can have an not having these tax can have an impact on demand and supply of these foods a lot. Next is relaxing the advertisement norms. So especially for products targeting children need to be overlooked. So what are the challenges in implementation? First is resistance from the food industry and lobbying, especially which has impact on their profitization. Next, defining scientific threshold for sugar, salt and fat, which is technical. Lower consumer literacy on nutritional labels, inadequate monitoring and enforcement capacity, and cultural preference for more such fried and sweet snacks. So cultural appropriation is also present. So looking into way ahead, first is the legislative backing, finalizing and notifying the upper limits for sugar, salt and fat, and mandate front of pack warning labels. Next is to have fiscal measures to bring in higher taxes on HFSS foods and subsidizing healthy alternatives. So there are a lot of startups and companies by different individuals on bringing in healthy alternatives. So it is a great idea to bring in subsidizing, government providing subsidies for such healthy alternatives. So for you can take makanas and healthy snacks. So there are a lot of startup companies being provided. Next is mass awareness campaigns using of public spaces, schools, media for nutrition literacy. Next is having stronger regulation on banning advertisement of junk food to children, regular surveillance of food safety standards in eateries and stores. Next is multi-stakeholder collaboration involving school, health workers, municipalities and food businesses to have in responsible eating. So I hope the article is clear. We have given an understanding about the importance of unhealthy food and how to curb on it. So this is the mains question, and don't forget to give your answer in the comment section. Now moving on to the mains article titled Smoke and Sulfur on Sulfur Dioxide Emissions and Public Health. So this article is one of the most important article, not just for UPSC but also for global environmental concerns. So it talks about the sulfur dioxide emission and public health related. So why it is on the news? The Ministry of Environment has exempted, that is removed most coal-fired thermal power plants from installing flue gas desulfurization systems, effectively overturning the 2015 mandate. So the 2015 mandate, which was regulated by a government of India, where they brought in regulations to control the vehicular emissions, especially sulfur dioxide, which has been prominent in the vehicular emissions. So in 2015, the Bharat stage norms, that is the BS norms, had different stages. So it was directly skipped from BS norms 4 to BS norms 6 to have vehicular emissions regulations. So now the news is the Ministry of Environment has removed the coal-fired thermal power plants from installing the flue gas desulfurization systems, which is now ironically overturning the 2015 mandate. So let us see the basics about what the news article contains and about the FDS. So here FDS means FGD means it means flue gas desulfurization. So these are desulfurization systems, that is removing of the sulfurs which is provided through the flue gas. So flue gas are generally exemption of gases from the thermal flue. So for example, chimneys or any other thermal flue passages, before the smoke reaches the atmosphere, the removing of the sulfur content present in that smoke in those chimney airs or chimney pathways is known as flue gas desulfurization. So the flue gas are mainly provided by thermal production, especially for coal burning. Now, what is the recent decision? So, only around 8% of the 600 coal units, mainly the National Thermal Pollution Corporation owned, have installed the FGDs as of 2025. So, here the ministry justifies the exemption citing that India's coal low sulfur content, and because of high installation costs, only few vendors available in India for specifically of the FGDs installation, and there can be possible increase in the electricity tariffs, and also due to COVID-19 induced disruption. So these are the justifications given by the ministry on exempting the FGDs installed. So only 8% of the FGDs, which are mainly owned by the NTPC, are installed. Now let us see the basics of the sulfur dioxide. It is monitored by the Central Pollution Control Board, and the SO2 is harmful at elevated levels. So it converts the sulfates, contributing to PM 2.5 pollution, and the sulfur dioxide exposure is linked to respiratory illness, acid rain, crop damage, and climate altering aerosols. So these are the basics for sulfur dioxide. Now, what are the environmental contradictions present? So, the expert committee have brought in findings which suggest that there is no significant SO2 difference between plants with and without FGDs. So here the committees have found, bringing in contradictions, that even with or without the FGDs, that is removal of the flue gas desulfurization, there is no significant sulfur dioxide reduction differences in thermal plants, and the sulfates suppress the global warming, hence a reduction may hurt the climate mitigation. But however, the IPCC, that is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change by the UNEP, brings in reports that do not endorse sulfates as a solution. So here they recognize only their temporary cooling effect. So these getting to know about the environmental contradictions is very important on how it has its impact on the installation of the FGDs and its ultimate larger picture impact on the sulfur dioxide. Now, looking into the unequal environmental standards, only fifth of plants, that is those in the NCR region, including major cities and hotspots, must install FGDs by 2028. So this raises concerns on unequal population safeguards and selective implementation according to the different locations. So this brings in unequal environmental standards. Now, looking into the implications, it undermines this 2015 environmental regulations due to the less installations of the FGDs as well as because of the exemption. It compromises scientifically informed public health norms, and that is especially the BS norms. So it sets a poor precedent for differentiated environmental compliances. So here theoretically there has been an environmental regulation to be followed, but practically it brings in a different scenario. So it brings a doubt on the environmental compliances. Now it may affect India's international credibility on emission reduction and how India is representing as a country, especially one of the developing countries, especially for the climate change regarding issues and its infrastructures. Getting to know about its pollution controls, especially in international forum or agenda, it has its impact on the credibility. Now, what is the way forward? So here we need to evaluate the cost benefit of the region specific FGDs exemptions. So here we need to look into for cost, infrastructure, and we need to look into according to the locations also. Next is to strengthen scientific transparency and public consultation, develop domestic FGDs manufacturing capacity to lower the cost. So this is one of the most important. So bringing in pilot projects and align air pollution policies with the IPCC and WHO health guidelines for more sustainable environment. So I hope the article is clear. This is a very interesting article. Give a read and try to answer this question to bring in more perspectives. So this is the mains practice question. The exemption of thermal plants from SO2 sulfur dioxide emissions norms reflect a regression in India's environmental governance and a contradiction to climate commitments. So here you can see how having a diversified country can have different implications. So critically evaluate the reference to recent policy changes and scientific evidences. So here you can also bring in the importance of different institutions, different laws and regulations accompanied for this question. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to give a like, comment and share, and to further not to miss any other content, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.